Hey, what is happening, guys? What's going on YouTube? It's Johnny with Rules for Rebels, and we're getting ready to do the final Week 4 giveaway of Litecoin. We've been doing these Litecoin giveaways for the past month, where every Sunday, I think I was late one week, but every Sunday we make a video announcing the giveaway, have you guys drop a comment in the Litecoin address, and then on Monday I pick the winners. So for this week, we had one of two questions you can answer with your Litecoin address. So the first was, how do you plan on riding out this upcoming Segwit2X Bitcoin fork happening in November? And for anybody who maybe is new to Bitcoin and doesn't really know what to do, isn't really comfortable with like answering that question, whatever, the other alternative was, what's a goal you have before the end of the year? So we had some great answers. We had 50 entrants, which I'm not going to continue doing this, next week necessarily, but I probably will pick up doing these Litecoin giveaways sometime again within the next couple weeks. And what's kind of really cool about these giveaways, we're not getting a ton of entrants, which I guess is bad for me as a creator and somebody trying to grow the channel. Really cool for you guys, however, though, because I see a lot of people giving away like garbage and getting like hundreds or even thousands of people entering the contest. And Litecoin, I think is a pretty good giveaway. But I think last week we had 49 people. This week we have 50 people. So you actually have a really good chance of winning. 1 in 50. I think some weeks we've been as low as like 38 or 40 comments. So yeah, I actually have a really good chance of winning. As far as the questions, I'll kind of give you my answers to the questions. We had a lot of great answers. I would say pretty evenly split. We had some people planning to use paper wallets. A couple people were going to use a Trezor. I think 1 or 2 guys were going to use a Ledger. And a lot of people keeping their money on exchanges. I would say probably, I would say it's pretty evenly split, not really overwhelmingly people going to do one method over another. But I would say if I had to just gauge from the comments, it seems like most people, or more people than not, are leaving their money on an exchange. And personally, I don't think that's a bad way to go. A lot of like really hardcore, Bitcoin enthusiasts and crypto people say it's stupid to leave your money on an exchange. I think that's like going back to the Mt. Gox days, like the Coinbases and the Geminis are like leaps and bounds more advanced, more well-regulated, insured, etc. than Mt. Gox. So I don't personally think it's like stupid to leave your stuff on an exchange. I've left, significant amounts of money on exchanges. I've never had any issues. Assuming you're dealing with like a trustworthy site, not like a Yobit or some no-name like Chinese or Russian site, then there obviously are risks. But the most major exchanges seem to be saying that they're going to split our coins for us. So if you're not super tech savvy, if you're not really comfortable with doing it yourself, I think that's not a bad way to go at all. And again, as I've mentioned before, if history repeats itself, typically in the case of forks, or at least the past couple forks we've had, the people who had their money on exchanges were able to sell quicker and at higher prices than those people who controlled their own keys. So I by no means think it's a bad idea to keep your money on an exchange. As far as what I'm probably going to do, I'm probably going to keep the majority on my Trezor, but I am going to be sending a couple Bitcoins to Bittrex, maybe a couple to hit BTC, and maybe a couple to Coinbase as well. So I'm going to kind of diversify, and maybe Coinbase is the fastest one to let us exchange. Maybe I'll sell some on there. If Bittrex is, I have a little bit of money on there, etc. So that's kind of what I'm planning on doing as we draw closer. If I hear any updates or anything else, I may kind of sway my position in one direction or another. In terms of goals before the end of the year, I was kind of thinking about this myself. I'd like to get started on some goal setting before the new year, and not just be another one of these New Year's resolution goal setters. I just recently picked up my first DSLR camera. I picked up a Canon SL2, which seems to be like a very cool entry-level budget camera, but also very good quality camera. I forget the guy's name. It was actually another YouTuber's recommendation who got me to buy it. And it's pretty affordable for an entry level. It's one of the smallest, lightest ones on the market. I was going to bring it on my camping trip a couple weekends ago, and I was worried about it getting like rained on or whatever. And I'm glad I didn't bring it, because it actually wound up getting, I wound up walking in pouring rain for about an hour and a half. Was soaking wet, and my camera would have been ruined. So kind of glad I made the decision not to make it. That's another goal, is I want to step up the video quality of these YouTube videos a little bit. I want to get a background, finish getting my office set up, start using a DSLR a little bit more. I'd like to get a little bit more into videography, learn a little bit more about editing. I'd like to get a little bit more into photography. And I guess as I talk about all these new things that I want to get into doing, I also want to try to start focusing more. I'm somebody who goes a mile wide and an inch deep instead of an inch deep and a mile wide, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, but I find that like I'm pretty good at a lot of things but not great at anything. So I'd like to kind of narrow down my focus of things that I want to focus my excuse me, my energy and my time on. I'd like to pick up a new hobby. This past summer, I did a little bit of paddle boarding, stand-up paddle boarding, supping, whatever you call it. I thought that was a blast. I just recently kind of learned about, I'm not near an ocean, but on Lake Michigan and the Great Lakes in general, people do like winter surfing. So I was thinking about maybe picking up like a thick, like 7mm wetsuit and a surfboard, and maybe trying to get into some of that this summer. And that kind of brings me to an interesting point. I heard an interesting comment from Gary Vee today, and he said something along the lines of like, he was kind of talking to like young people in general, but he said, look, you're not lost. It's just that you haven't tried enough shit. Like to anybody who's like, under 20, mid 20s, even up to 30, I guess it doesn't even matter what age. If you're feeling lost, you're probably not lost. You're probably not directionless. It's probably that you haven't tried enough things to figure out what your thing is. So I guess I'm kind of contradicting myself. As I say, I'd like to narrow down. I'd also like to explore more things. Just to try kind of get a better idea of my passions and things like that. And when it comes to like creating content and making money, the more things you know about, the more things you expose yourself to, opportunities are abound. As I've been kind of researching this whole like Great Lake surfing thing, like incredible niche, a lot of like high dollar value products. If you wanted to get into like affiliate marketing, Great Lake surfing would be like an awesome thing to start a big Instagram following around and make a YouTube video, a blog around to recommend gear. As somebody who's looking at maybe getting into this, I don't have the first idea about like surfboard. Should I get a longboard, which I think is what you're supposed to do to surf on the Great Lakes? What millimeter wetsuit? As I start looking into like supping or paddle boarding, all types of equipment. Last weekend I went camping. I realized camping is a great niche. So, start exploring different interests that you have and things like that. And you never know, maybe a business opportunity will come out of it. But that's kind of some of my my goals before the end of the year as well. So I've rambled long enough. Let's get to the giveaway here. So we're gonna go up to TubeBuddy. Let's see, we're gonna go to pick a winner. And as I said last week, I really felt bad. Luis actually wound up getting picked at first. And just before that, I had said if there's not a comment in your Litecoin address, you're not going to win. He didn't have a Litecoin address in his comment. No, I'm sorry, he didn't have a Litecoin address in his comment. And later I realized that that was the second comment that he had left. So just out of fairness, I'm going to do it the same way this week. If you don't have a comment and a Litecoin address, I'm going to move on to the next person. But let's go ahead and pick the winner. Pick a winner. Okay, and somebody just said I'm in. He didn't answer either of the questions or leave a Litecoin address, so we're going to pick another winner. Tiempo Total. Hey, yo, I want to have my Shopify print-on-demand and dropshipping store with daily traffic and sales. Keep growing the crypto stash. So very cool, Tiempo. Congratulations on winning. I wanted to touch real quickly before we depart here on some of what your guys' goals and stuff, where I saw a lot of people want to create blogs. A lot of people wanted to start YouTube channels, and we had a few people who wanted to do Shopify, as well as get Amazon FBA businesses going. Some people wanting to lose weight. I think some people wanting to learn foreign languages. So all very cool goals. Interesting to, it's always interesting and kind of inspiring to hear what other people are up to and things like that. Any of you guys who want to start a blog or a YouTube channel, man, I can't encourage you enough how cool it is, how rewarding it is, how fun it is to be able to make money and connect with people about a passion that you have, whether that's business, whether that's a hobby, whether it's camping, learning a language, whatever else. So if there's anything I can help you guys with getting started, like a blog or a YouTube channel, that's something that I'm kind of really passionate about. So definitely, don't second guess yourself. Don't find reasons not to do it. Definitely encourage all of you guys to do that. So I'm gonna pause the video real quick. We'll get into Coinbase. We'll send Tiempo his Litecoin, and then we'll sign out here. Okay, back with you. Here we got Tiempo's Litecoin address. We're going to copy that, head on over to Coinbase, plug it in. We're going to send him one Litecoin. So 5614 right now. And I'm going to pause it real quick while I put my codes in here. I don't think it really matters, but just to be on the safe side. Okay, and it's off. We sent a Litecoin to Tiempo. We can view the details, view the transaction. Obviously, it's not going to be confirmed yet. But as you can see, it's been sent off. So that's the video for today, guys. Thank you for everybody, not only for participating in the Litecoin giveaways, but for just supporting the channel and watching the videos and everything else over all these years. So these past couple weeks of giveaways was just kind of my way of saying thank you. I will be picking this up in a couple weeks here, but just want to give myself a little break and want to focus on a few other things. And we may be doing a Bitcoin giveaway before the end of the year. But thank you everybody for watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.